Yep.
Okay. All right, good evening, everyone. I'm now going to call to order the December 7, 2021 agenda meeting. We're going to begin with Finance and General Government Committee items with our Comptroller, Alam.
Thank you. The first one is Finance and General Government Committee. The first item is a resolution making certain budgetary modifications. Number 2 is a resolution appointing a clerk to the town justice. The third one is a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a contract with a new vendor for the new telephone system. I'm going to ask Seth to come and explain that a little bit because we are going to get a lot of savings. And the main thing is that it's budget neutral. We already had the savings. So Seth, thank you for doing a great job.
Thank you. Okay, so we put out a request for proposal. We got 8 proposals back. We interviewed 2 companies. Those 2 companies met all the requirements in the RFP. They're significantly cheaper than the other ones. That's why we selected those 2. I want to thank Ismet and Charlie and Hisham for their help with the phone committee going through all this stuff. So the reason why we're doing this is we're going from 4 providers down to 1. Currently, we have Windstream, Verint, which does the recording for the police department, Magna 5, and Northeast IS. It's going to be significant savings. The Verint alone is about $4,000 a year to record the phone calls for the police department. Both of the companies that we were talking to included that for free. So right there is $4,000 a year savings. Overall, it should be about $1,000 a month we're saving. We'll be able to do all the management in-house between myself, between Hisham, and a couple other people that we're going to train to be able to do this, to make changes. Last time we had to have the menu changed for the police department, it cost the town $1,500. So that's something that should be able to be done here. The other problem is the old phones are starting to break down. The screens are going blank. The microphone portion or the speaker portion of the phone just stops working randomly. Since I've been here for the last 10 months, I believe we've lost 8 phones. The phones are not cheap to replace. We might as well buy new phones with the new system that's going to go forward and actually bring us into the 21st century.
Great.
So the other thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be removing fax machines. We're going to go to a full e-fax. The faxes will come in as PDFs. Those departments which already have filing systems that accept PDFs will be able to just drop them right into their system and file them properly, as opposed to printing them out of a fax machine, then taking them to a scanner and making them a PDF. It's kind of counterproductive. As to the budget, I already have enough money to cover it in my capital budget. And the reason why it's going to be a fairly large dollar amount up front to buy the phones and the equipment to put the phones in, but the savings that we're going to see over the next few years of that system will more than cover that, and we'll actually get a lot more productivity and much more functionality out of the system.
Great. Thank you, Seth.
Anybody else have any?
No.
Anybody have any questions?
Seth, thank you very much. You did a
Excellent
great.
work, Seth. As always, excellent work. Thank you.
And the next 2 items, item 4 and 5, are basically the purchase of new phone network related equipment that Seth has covered. And the second last item is a resolution authorizing the purchase of new phones with the phone service. So
Excellent.
that's it, Supervisor. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to Highway Parks and Recreation Committee items with Ray Smith.
Item 6 is a resolution authorizing the bid extensions for 2022 for sand, gravel, and stone products in the Public Works That's both for us and Matt for sandstone and items that we use on a daily basis. We sent out notices and only one bidder did not go forward, but we had alternates, so we've made them changes. So, any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, Ray. Okay, next we have Economic Development, Historic Preservation, and Environmental Conservation Committee items with our town planner, Laura Robertson.
So number 7 is a resolution accepting a land donation. We had a letter from the owners of 540 Gasner Ave requesting that the town look at accepting this parcel. It is landlocked. It is adjacent to the Woodlawn Nature Preserve in Schenectady, and it's very similar to the parcels that we received from Schenectady County with the deed restrictions for parkland. There's also New York State wetlands on the parcel, and just probably a good idea not to have it out there with people trying to develop it. It's not a good developing parcel. And because it's all surrounded by those nature preserves, it's very similar to those infill parcels that we've been accepting, like with the Stanford land donation. So we talked about it at the Economic Development Committee. And it's just, I think, just a question for you, Paul, is if you think that we can be ready at the end of December or if we want to have it in January. But I had it on December. So
No, it'll be ready. We need to do I'm going to do a title
Title
search
search.
to make sure that there's no title problems. I'm sure the title's probably okay. It's a question of whether there's any liens or unpaid
on there. Okay.
taxes or judgments, that sort of thing.
And the map of it is on the economic development parcel if anybody's interested in seeing it.
So no, it can be ready in 2 weeks is fine.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. We're now going to move on to Public Works Committee items with Matt Yetto.
Okay, item number 8 is a resolution to appoint a water and sewer maintenance worker. We interviewed multiple candidates. We have a candidate that we'd like to recommend. We currently do have 2 openings, so this would help fill a shortage that we have on the crew. So I'll provide the name to the board prior to the meeting. 9 is a resolution to add an extension to an independent contractor agreement that we had. We had an agreement with our former plant operator at the water plant to come back if we needed him for help. He didn't come in when we thought we would need him. He ended up being necessary to call back a couple months after his agreement ended. So we have to just extend the agreement so we can pay him. It was over a matter of $600. 10 is a resolution to accept bids and award contracts for the 2022 materials used by the Water and Sewer Department. Bid opening is on Monday. This includes everything from pipes to water valves, hydrants, all the materials that we use to do our work. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like anyone is willing to hold prices from last year. There's a lot of unknown and uncertainty in the market right now. 11 is a resolution to accept quotes and award contracts for lab services and chemical purchases at our water plant and our sewer plant. We every year go out and get proposals from multiple labs and suppliers. And this is just so that we can purchase the chlorine and some of the other chemicals used for the treatment of the wastewater and drinking water. 12 is a resolution to approve repair of one of our large dump trucks. We had some suspension issues with one of our 2 large dump trucks that we use for almost everything that we do. The work exceeds my dollar amount that I can approve. It's just slightly over $9,000 to do the repair. 13 is a resolution to set a fee for a one-day pass at the transfer station. We recently did a resolution to amend the code so we could allow for a one-day pass, but we did not set the fee because we don't do that usually at the same time. So we do a resolution that would set the fee. Paul has been working with us, and we just have to get the information to Elena, and it's going to be $20 for a one-day pass. 14, it's tentative. I don't have any applicants right now, but an additional person at the transfer station. If someone comes in, I will provide a name, we'll do an interview, but it doesn't look like we're going to get someone right now. That's all I have.
Thank you, Matt, as always.
Thanks, Matt. Okay, next we have Police and Public Safety Committee items with Chief Koshian.
Good evening, everyone. Number 15 is a resolution authorizing the surplus of police vehicles. We have some police vehicles as we cycle them out that have to be decommissioned and surplused accordingly to help offset the costs of the new vehicles that are coming in. Number 16 is a resolution calling for a public hearing regarding no commercial vehicle signage on Story Avenue. This is part of the ongoing process as we identify Story Ave and working with the neighborhood over there to address some of their concerns. Van Antwerp Road has a 4-ton weight limit on it anyways. We feel that it would be best suited to limit commercial vehicle traffic up that steep incline hill. Number 17.
Chief, your leadership on this issue has just been remarkable and very much appreciated. It's an issue that's been going on for a long time. The issue of traffic in our community has been going on for a long time. I've sat here month after month hearing about traffic studies and other issues. And in the short time that you have led this department, I have seen more cars driving around, dealing with traffic issues. You were sitting in somebody's yard in Story Ave to take on this issue. You've been out to Dean Street. You've been to all the places, all the hot spots. You've really taken it on head on. You consider it as important as the rest of the members of the town board do, and we very much appreciate all your efforts.
Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Number 17 is a resolution calling for a public hearing regarding the addition of a stop sign at Middle Street and East Street. Councilman McPartlin and I were talking briefly before the meeting. It's yet to be determined exactly which part of the intersection the stop sign is going to go on. It's possible that it's actually going to be William Street that it's on to go to that intersection because it has been identified from the neighborhood as an uncontrolled intersection. And then lastly, number 18 is a resolution promoting an individual to the position of sergeant in the Niskuna Police Department. This position is going to backfill the position that I vacated. This is going to be a road supervisor. We all know that in policing, we need supervision. And in order for us to adequately staff from a supervisory perspective, this promotion is going to backfill that so that we have a sergeant on every shift. Does anyone have any questions about that?
And you have a candidate in mind already?
We do.
Excuse me, you have a candidate.
We do. We went through an interview process with a panel, myself, Deputy Chief Stevens, Lieutenant Twitty, and also Comptroller Alam sat in on it. And we did have a selection that we would like to present to the board. I don't know if this is the appropriate time to say that name, if that's.
Yeah, I mean, we don't say them when we don't have them filled,
Yeah,
like
no,
Matt couldn't.
Yep. Jeffrey Relation. He's been a member of our department for over 20 years now. Jeff has worked on every single shift. He's been an officer in charge for a number of years, and I have every confidence in Jeff's ability, and I think he's going to make an excellent sergeant for the town of Niskuna.
Excellent. Thank you.
Anything else?
No,
Thank you so much.
just appreciate your leadership.
Thank you.
So
All right. Are there any additional items?
there's one more. So in an unprecedented turn of events, for the second time in 2 years, I'm going to thank my friend Lisa Weber for serving on the Niskuna Town Board. I don't know if it's ever happened in the past. Maybe Briggs could tell us. I don't think so, though. We have had a member of the town board serve so well, so admirably, and in such an outstanding capacity. Her first tour, she chaired the Parks and the Recreation Committee, the community programs, the seniors, and she did a fantastic job. And then when we were faced with a vacancy on the town board, the supervisor and I discussed it. Paul Briggs discussed it. There was really just one person and one person alone that we thought would be best to come back and serve the town yet again. We asked Lisa to come back because of her knowledge of the town budget. You really are an expert at the budget, at all of the things that we go through on this town board to try to do an $18 million budget. And you really did serve us very, very well. Yet again, Lisa, this community is blessed with somebody who is as selfless a leader as you are. You're a true community servant. And I am fortunate to have worked with you twice now. I'm confident we will work together again in some other capacity. You also led the search, and we don't talk about things like this in this at this table, but you led the search that led to the Democratic candidate to fill the vacancy. You were not interested in yourself. You really just wanted to be here to help us, but you led that search on behalf of the Democratic Party to that led us to an outstanding candidate, Jessica Brennan. So you really you've done just so very much in all the years of service to the town, but really again in the last 6 or 8 months. You never missed a beat. So Lisa, thank you very much for
Oh,
everything you've
you're
done for all
welcome.
of
That's
this.
so
This is
sweet.
for all of us up here. And thank you, Lisa.
That's so sweet. Really not necessary, but these are definitely beautiful. I just want to very quickly, because I know everybody wants to leave. I just want to say that it's a pleasure to be able to step in again and just fill in for a few months to serve this wonderful town and to get to work with such hardworking and committed folks who work for this town. And I am really happy that Jessica Brennan is going to be taking this seat over. I think she's going to do wonderful and amazing things. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. And thank you, Lisa, for your service.
Yes, Lisa, thank you for your
Sure.
service on
Yeah.
behalf of myself and I think the residents of this town. Thank you for coming back and serving us in this short-term capacity. You did an excellent job. As always, there was no question in anyone's mind that you would, as you served the board for 4 years and then came back with very little notice to serve us again. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
All right. Without further ado, I'm going to motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned for the evening. Everybody have a wonderful night.